There is a curfew right now in Harare. There is police everywhere. And we expect a declaration of a state of emergency, which includes probably random and arbitrary arrests of people, locking them up, shutting down of the internet, and closing down of public spaces. So we expect this to happen within the next 2 to 3 days. And at the same time, we're going to see the appointments, very important appointments. Zimbabwe National Army Commander, we're also going to see appointment of deputies. So the replacement of the intelligence, Tafumane is going to be replaced, and also replacement of the deputy of the police, who is it Chido Sanyatwe, the wife of Anselem Sanyatwe. She is likely to be dismissed, and we're also going to see the swearing in of Anselem Sanyatwe. Is it possible that Anselem Sanyatwe can say no to that position, like people have been saying?
That is a narrative being pushed by emotional people. If they are still bound to follow the constitution, as I told you, that Zimbabwe is being run by the constitution, and this Defense Act, as a soldier, he is bound to obey the commander, So I don't think there will be chances for him to say no. The one who is supposed or having the mandate to appoint and disappoint is the commander-in-chief. And he is being told by the commander-in-chief, is being revoked from the duties by the commander-in-chief and reassigned. So what is more important here is to put the bread on the table, which is likely to happen, because I don't think General Sanyatwe is in a position to sacrifice his children, his family on starvation for the sake of Zimbabwe. If he managed to do that, then we would say salute to the comrade, because he really meant to be people's advocate, But as I told you, that money matters now. He is being assigned to where he is going to get money, which is going to improve the putting of the bread on the table. So to engage into disobedience, which is likely not going to succeed, because the command of the defense comes from the commander. The chances are slim, but let's wait and see.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I don't think he's going to be able to say no. But why has there been no? Is there no ceremony that is supposed to take place for him to become a minister? Why hasn't that taken place?
I will have to equip myself with knowledge about that. I am not 100% what is the direct procedure which they can use. We have seen a lot of appointments taking place, but I think there is an invitation which must be done to the State House somewhere to actually sign the contract, just as other ministers were signing the contract. Then let us wait for that day and see what is going to happen.
Yeah, because normally what happens is when you're appointed as a minister, before assuming that position, you are called to State House to sign. And I think there's a swearing in ceremony which is supposed to happen. This happens on the very day when you are appointed. And this was supposed to happen yesterday. You can't wait to be a minister and then be sworn in after. So I think that's, people are correct to say there's something that has happened there with the delay of the swearing in. Is it possible that he has said no to that appointment?
As to say no is a public defiance. It's going to be a clear defiance to the commander. What are the consequences of coming against the orders as according to the Defense Act? There's a lot of structures in the military. I don't want to agree that he actually rejected, unless proven wrong somewhere and otherwise. But I'm 100% convinced that he actually agreed to it, as much as he can grieve, but he is bound to obey. So I believe that we are going to see.
If he said no, what would happen if he refused to vacate the position of commander? We have seen it last year. Some captains refused to vacate. They came to work after they were removed. what would happen in that case?
But in the case of General Sanyatwe, it's not the first time. The man was actually at one point removed and deployed as an ambassador. I didn't see him refusing, and he was called again to come back and reappointed, and he obeyed. So we are talking of a man who is known for obedience here. You see,
yeah. But what would happen if he refused to vacate as part of the overall military defiance that is going on? Would Mnangagwa have any leg to stand on?
I do understand there is a commission in the defense command which he is going to be subjected under as a disciplinary measure. As to what is the sanction which can come out from there, I don't know. But as I told the people that, if you want to understand these things, go through the Constitution of Zimbabwe, section 211, 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216. It will actually show you exactly what happens when we have a soldier or a general or a commander who didn't obey the orders of the command, you see. And also together with the chapter 11.02, the one I said is Defense Act, it outlines there. Whether they are going to follow it or not going to follow it, then it's another song to sing. But there is also a structure in how the military works. Suppose there is someone who didn't obey, there is a disciplinary setup which they have there as the soldiers, and comprising of the committees which must take over and call this person to order or take any action as to the consequence of that defiance.
Okay, but is it possible then that this could be the triggering point of the removal of Mnangagwa instead of the removal of General Chiwenga? Could this be a triggering point if Sanyatwe was to refuse to vacate the position of the commander of the National Army?
I only see people who are scared here. I don't know if I'm wrong. I'm only seeing people who are scared. As I told you that the triggering point is very possible, but there must be people who come to claim the responsibility. Go back to President Mugabe's issue. Before the triggering of that coup, did you know that General Chiwenga did a presser before they took over the ZBC? Right now, you have got an army commander, Valerius Banda, who is quiet. You understand? So with the chances of the triggering of all these, I don't think they are very slim, because you see, from the CIO, the Minister of State Security is an ally, the Minister of Police is an ally. Himself as the commander being quiet shows that he is neutral. You understand? The General Valerius Banda, he is not coming up to say, is he up for this or is not up for this? So the punishment or the reappointment of General Sanyatwe, cannot be a triggering point, because the people who are part of this are not up to actually make it clear that we are up for this. They are doing it in hiding, and the people who are calling for this match, they are doing it in the diaspora. So the ground is actually clear. No one is going to actually say no. I'm the one who is heading this, guys. This has happened. As of now, I think even your office doesn't have the names of the generals who are involved, even though they are known. But it is not publicly said to actually say this and this and this and this. They are fighting for the people, also fighting for their bread. People are protecting their jobs, and at the same time, they are showing an impression to the people of Zimbabwe that we are doing something. But it is a game played on a closed card. So we only see what happens when it transpires. So we can predict
so
after
can we then say by Sunday, if Sanyatwe has not taken up the position of sports minister, we have a crisis?
Maybe we might have a crisis. Maybe he is going to assume the office, because what we have seen are people who are advising him right on this on the social media to say musabvume kutorerwa futi muchipuwa tennis ball. You understand? You know, everything which is happening now is actually triggering the anger of the people of Zimbabwe. You know, but we haven't seen him responding to that. What does it mean? So maybe let us give him a time, as he was actually served with the letter, and we haven't seen any communique actually coming to oppose whatever is happening. So let's wait for the action. I said we can only predict after the action. If he is going to insist going back and render the service as the general after being revoked from those duties, then we will say now his action is showing us that he is refusing. If he stops going to render the services after being revoked, then it means he's complying. You know, so time will only tell. Let's wait and see.
Okay, so that's very critical, and I think me and you will have another discussion on Sunday, your usual day, because this is a special kind of discussion that we have had today. So I hope that on Sunday we can come back and say, what has General Sanyatwe done, and where is the military standing? Because at the moment we've reached the tipping point. Mnangagwa has made all his moves now. There's only one person left who hasn't been moved. And as you've said, that is Valerio Spanda, the CTF. And the next most important military person, who is Chiwenga. And then obviously we've got Opam Chinguri. The three most important military people have not been moved. But everyone else, the brigadier generals have been moved. The police, ZPS, intelligence have been moved. So Mnangagwa has made all his moves. He has now made his last move, which is Sanyatwe, who was also removing everyone else. So he used Sanyatwe to remove everyone. Now he has removed Sanyatwe. And let's see if Sanyatwe is going to agree to be moved, because at the moment, I believe that he has not yet signed or taken the oath to be a minister. And he has also not left his position within the Zimbabwe military. So very interesting. And on Sunday, General, we're going to come here and we have a discussion, because I think this is where everything is going to happen. As you say, if he accepts, the whole thing is dead. If Sanyatwe agrees to take up the Minister of Sport, the military guys will find it very difficult. He is the last man